The situation in Palestine and Israel is horrible. The loss of life has been weighing on me for all these days, and I just feel like it's important to come up and say something and take a stand against genocide, because with the way that Hamas attacked Israel, it was genocidal. And with the way that Israel is attacking Palestine, I mean, it could be, it is a genocide. And it could only get worse. And it could wipe out tens of thousands of people. So I went to a presentation last night called Copaganda Clapback, and they gave me some language in order to discuss these things. So I just wanted to say that I feel for people on both sides of this, but I have to take a stand against the Israeli state as well as Hamas for their genocidal tactics. But what I'm most concerned about is just how much worse it can get. If Israel continues to ramp up its aggression against the Palestinian people, civilians, then it could be one of the worst wars that we've seen in the history of the world. So at Copaganda Clapback, they talked about something called Copaganda, and that's like police propaganda that's used to create a narrative, an action that's used to support the police and also corporate interests. Two major terms they talked about were debunking and prebunking. Debunking is disproving misinformation and disinformation after the fact that it comes out. And prebunking is conditioning yourself to be resistant to misinformation and disinformation and to be skeptical of those things in order to stop yourself from believing lies. One of the forms of what you could call propaganda is a term that's called Pollywood or Pallywood. I'm not sure which way it's pronounced, but this is where videos of Israeli soldiers killing Palestinians come out and go viral, and then the Israeli state comes out with a statement saying that it's fabricated, saying that it's Pallywood. And this is accusing Palestinians of creating film content that's faked of them being killed in order to create sympathy for the Palestinian cause. And this term, Pallywood, I find it extremely offensive, and I find it dehumanizing, and it's a real indicator of just how deep the Israeli propaganda goes. Now, I personally believe that this may be controversial, and it's a very sensitive issue, but I don't believe, as someone who has followed the Jewish religion very closely and who once wanted to convert to it, and my religious identity is Noahide, and Noahidism comes from Judaism. Like, I've studied the Torah. I used to go to synagogue every week, and I mean, I still might convert someday if it comes down to it, but I don't believe that there should be a Jewish state. I think that the land area of Israel and Palestine, it should be a multicultural area where people of all religions live, and it's not under a theocracy like of Israel, but under a secular government where Palestinians, Muslims, Israelis, Christians, people, all faiths have equal rights and equal representation under the law. It's so important to speak out in times like these, because what the Israeli state is saying that they're going to do to Gaza is just outright horrific. I mean, asking 1 million people to flee to the south in the third most densely populated land area in the world, I mean, that's completely unreasonable. And there's a lot of misinformation and disinformation, and misinformation is false information that's spread not knowing that it's false, and then disinformation is purposefully placed deception in order to create a narrative, and then to produce action based on that narrative. So I'm heartbroken by what's going on in the Middle East. I feel for my Jewish brothers and sisters, as well as my Palestinian brothers and sisters, but I absolutely have to take a stand against the outright genocide that's happening in Gaza and the West Bank, Palestine. So I hope this video has been somewhat helpful. I wish I had more time to go over it, but I only have about 10 minutes. So feel free to ask me any questions, and I'll do my best to answer them. Anyways, I hope you're all well, and I will talk to you later. Bye.